in this era of social media, people constantly looking at you. It's a very public thing, right? So I'm just wondering what made you join politics?
First of all, thank you very much for having us today. To answer your question very simply, it was my wife. My wife inspired me to follow my heart and align myself with my cause that I believe in. Back in the just after G 2020, in the afterglow of the Workers' Party winning another GRC, I was caught up in that fever. But I didn't really use my time productively then. I was one of what you would call a typical keyboard warrior lah. So on Reddit, you would see me typing angry comments like, "Oh, this is not good. That is bad. I can do things better." And my wife was volunteering then in Tanjong Pagar, where we were staying with Joan Pereira.
I see.
She was just quietly contributing and helping her community and giving her part back to society. And I was just so embarrassed at myself. I was like, oh, look at what I'm doing. I'm wasting my time. I'm so embarrassed at it. So I just said, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
And I wrote to Leon Pereira, who was at that time the media team head for the Workers' Party.
Yes.
And I said, hey, Leon, I work in communications, but I'm happy to do whatever you want. Can I volunteer for you? And that is how it started. Right. So the joke I always tell people who ask me this, right, is it's more stubbornness. You need that stubbornness with opposition. My wife, you volunteer with Pereira. I also find my own Pereira, and that's how I ended up in the Workers' Party.
So there must be an interesting, household or bedtime conversation, right? Both Pereiras in different camps. How do you navigate that in a personal life?
A lot of people also ask me this question as a follow-up when they find it. It is interesting, but I think my wife and I, our relationship shows that, you can have differences in opinion, you can have differences in perspective, and you can still push in the same direction. And I think, I like to speak for her. I think our relationship is quite good despite our differences. And Sylvia has met my wife several times, and she will share her own assessment of that.
Yeah, I enjoy talking to her.
Yeah.
I find her a very real person. And in fact, we have an appointment to meet soon over some drinks.
I see.
Probably to talk about Jackson.
I think so.
Yeah. Jackson, you mentioned that you were caught up with the whole G2020 WP win, right, of Sengkang. Is that the main factor to decide to, hey, I want to volunteer with Workers' Party? Are you looking at other parties also, maybe?
Not really. Other parties, I won't say I'm looking at them, but I think the Workers' Party aligns a lot with my personal beliefs, my personal conviction. And I think more than anything, the Workers' Party is a platform, right, where, yes, there are a lot of accomplished, a lot of very highly credentialed people in the party that I'm very proud to walk with. But it is a platform where I like to think ordinary people can contribute and make a difference, no matter how small it is. So that's how I started, really. I wrote to Leon and said, hey, I work in comms. I kind of understand how a press office works. I can help you. But I didn't do any of that work at all for the first year. I was carrying bags of rice. I was moving chairs. Things, very simple things in the grassroots. But it means a lot to the people that you do these things for. That's how I started.
And of course, with Leon leaving the party, what was that like for you? I guess it was almost like losing a mentor of sorts.
Yeah, it was a very funny experience, and I'm sure we'll go into it in more details later. But Leon, I'm not ashamed to say that I got along very well with Leon. He did bring me into the party. He's a very fun guy. He's a very generous guy. And I think when he left, it was a bit of a sad day for opposition politics, not only because, I lost a friend, right? But I think Singapore lost that voice, that Leon was a very good voice in Parliament.